Welcome to the Joy Work Show, the podcast that goes beyond the surface of business, right to the heart, to explore the real joy and the stories behind success. Not just the moments of celebration, but the challenges that paved the way for them. Hiya, I'm Diane, and on this podcast we know that joy isn't just about the good times. Often the greatest joy comes right after the greatest challenge. And today you have one of my solo episodes, and I am really excited to bring this to you because this is all about my focus groups, the Insight Circle. So let's call this podcast the Insight Circle edition. And it's really, really juicy because it's straight from the source. This was real conversations with real small business owners from my recent focus groups, the Insight Circle. So if you've ever felt like you've done all the things, the courses, the masterminds, the lives, the content, everything, and yet somehow you're still stuck, then this is the episode for you. So let's get straight into it. Let's set the scene on why I held the Insight Circle. I put together 2 small but mighty focus groups to chat with small business owners about their biggest challenges, what they really want from business coaching, business communities and support. And my goodness, did they bring it. Thank you to all the small business owners who took part in it with me. I am going to be bringing them back for Q. But that's not what today's podcast episode about. So what was the goal? The goal was not to pitch. It wasn't to teach. I didn't sell anything at the end of it. It was for me to listen. And it was also for those other small business owners to listen too. Because like me, a lot of them were service providers. We also had product businesses in there. We had people who provided the service of creating the products. We had everything in there. But we all work with business owners in some way, shape or form. So it was also a time for them to listen. And what came out of these conversations was honestly so powerful, but really familiar. So if you've been in a business for a while, but you feel stuck, unsure, overwhelmed, or you're just kind of a bit done, then you aren't alone because we have all been there, going through it, got the t-shirt. So I want to share with you today what we heard and what we shared. So I want to talk about 5 big themes that came up. So I held 2 focus groups and these 5 themes came up again and again and again. Number 1, overwhelm and paralysis. Everybody is juggling too much, both in our lives and in our business. Too many platforms, too many ideas, too many tabs open, mentally and digitally. And the result, paralysis. That frozen feeling that can't post, can't sell, can't move, don't know what I'm going to do next. That was theme number 1. Theme number 2, shiny object syndrome. The course fatigue is real. I heard, I've done it all, I've spent the money, why am I still here? And honestly, the mistrust is just really, really high. People are so jaded and they're caught in this hamster wheel of the next shiny thing, the next trend, the next big coach, the next big thing to do. But they're left not completing courses, not getting a return on investment, and too much misinformation and not knowing what is right for them. Number 3, messaging meltdowns. This was the most repeated line. I don't know how to talk about what I do. I don't have the clarity in my messaging that people understand what I do. People aren't unclear about what they do. They're unclear about how to say it so people actually get it. They're talking about their messaging. They're talking about their content. Sometimes it even goes down into their mission, vision and values. They don't understand how to put it in a way that people really understand what their mission is, what their vision is, and how deep their values go within their business. Number 4, confidence crashes. At the heart of it all, confidence. People kept saying, I don't have the confidence to show up. I don't have the confidence to go live. I don't have the confidence to reach out. I could never speak on a stage. I'm not confident enough of that. And it all comes down to fears. The fear of saying the wrong thing. The fear of launching something that no one wants. The fear of being too visible or not visible enough. People think that is a confidence thing. You'll know that I believe that is a courage thing, that big ball of courage that makes you do those things to build the confidence. But confidence kept coming up. And number 5, craving connection and accountability. And this to me is the most human of all. People just want to feel seen and heard and understood as business owners. They want to be in communities where they feel seen. Not just a member in a group, not just a client in a funnel, not just a number, but like someone actually gives a damn about them and their business and is going to listen when they say what they are struggling with. And they want it to be about their business, not some cookie cutter approach. And I thought about personas and I thought about the type of people that were coming and what they were saying. And I've come up with 3 big types of people that I met in these conversations. We had the quiet expert, brilliant at what they do, but hates showing up online. They need help translating expertise into content. They need a simple way that they can show up online because they want an online business, but they don't need to do it like anybody else, and they just need to show up in their expertise. There was the overthinker, stuck in their own head, second guessing everything, wants to move but needs a nudge. So stuck in their head, they need somebody sitting next to them saying, you can do this, move forward with that one thing you want to do. And then there was the burned out believer. They still have hope. They still believe in their business. They still believe in showing up online, but they're tired and they're skeptical. They just want someone to walk beside them, not just cheer them on from the sidelines. They want to know that that person has got their back. Do any of these sound like you? I know I have been all of them at one point or another. And I promise you, they're not made up. They came straight from the group. Personas, but I also spoke about 5 themes. So what can we do about the 5 themes? So let me give you 5 clear antidotes, one for each of the big themes that came up in the insight circle. So the first one was overwhelm and paralysis. So here is the antidote: the power of a 1-page plan. Instead of juggling 10 ideas and 25 to-do lists, get everything onto 1 page. A simple, visual business map that shows your offer, your ideal client, your main message, your 1 to 2 visibility methods. This creates instant calm. This puts you in the driver's seat. This isn't your one and done business strategy, but this gets you moving today. When it's all in one place, your brain can breathe and action becomes easier. And when you're in paralysis, what you want to do is just take that action. That momentum will then create the further momentum that you need. Okay, number 2, we had shiny object syndrome. The antidote to that is the not now list. Every time a new idea hits, it goes in a parking lot. A dedicated not now list. What you are focusing on gets ruthless priority. 1 offer, 1 message, 1 action plan. The joy doesn't come from more ideas. The success doesn't come from more ideas. It comes from implementing the right ones and having the grit to stay the course with them. Too often we see people flip-flopping, changing messaging, changing offers. Their audience haven't got used to one, never mind the others. So do the work to find the right offer, the right messaging, and stick with it to make sure that it's working. You will always have time to do the other ideas. That time will come when you build the success and the joy that you want within your business. Think about the right ones and do them. Number 3, Messaging meltdowns. What is the antidote to that? The customer voice swipe file. Start collecting the exact words your dream clients use. From DMs, from testimonials, from Voxer WhatsApp chats, from emails. This swipe file becomes your content goldmine. When in doubt, use their words. Too often I see people trying to come up with clever new ways to talk about what they do, when actually they need to use the words that their dream client uses and their dream client understands. Messaging clarity is less about being clever and more about being clear. Don't try and come up with a new word for a power hour, because that's what your clients will understand. Don't try and come up with a new message for a membership, because your client will understand when you say the word membership. Think about what you're trying to put across and use the words that they know and understand. Number 4, confidence. So the confidence crashes antidote is action before confidence. Or as I would always put it, courage before confidence. Confidence doesn't arrive before you do something scary. Confidence doesn't arrive in the room before you do. It builds because you did it. It builds from learned experiences. You can tell your mind and your body that when you step into courage and when you try, that things work out because you have past experiences that prove that that is the case. So set tiny courage and confidence reps. Go live to 3 people. Pitch one offer in stories. Send one brave email. Turn up to an event. Whatever it is that you're scared of doing, think of one tiny confidence rep that you can do for it. These reps then stack up. And by stacking them up, you're also building the belief in yourself. You're also building your belief in your business and your ability. Start stacking courage and confidence reps. And then number 5, craving connection and accountability. The antidote is find your inner circle. Find your tribe, not just another group. And don't try to be in all the groups. Don't try to be in all the things. You don't need 1,000 new followers. You don't need to be in every single room. You need 3 to 5 people who know your business, who know you, who show up in the same spaces that you show up in and will lovingly call you out, who will hold you accountable. You want to find that coach, that mentor, that facilitator that you connect with, that you know has as much belief in you as you have in your business, or the belief that you want to have in yourself, and you want to spend time and commit with them. Being in all the rooms is just going to confuse you more. You need to think about what you do. And if it is accountability and connection, find the place that you have the connection that is going to give you the accountability. That's what I built the Joy Work Club for. That's what then transpired into the Joy Work Members Club. It is intimate, it is honest, and it is supportive. It helps you move, not just vent. Venting is really important. But if you're just going to show up every week and vent and not take any action, it turns into something else. So you find the space for you that is intimate, honest, and supportive to bring you the connection and accountability that you crave. So to sum up in a way, here's what everybody wanted. Simplicity over strategy overload. I'm a strategist. I know how important strategy is, but so often strategy is about taking away, simplifying, focusing in on something than it is about having all these different things. A real map, not more motivational fluff. People want a real map of what they can do. Here's where you come for accountability. Here's what step you're going to do next. Here's what's going to happen once you've taken that next step. People want to see the real moves. People want the confidence to move without second guessing. So they need the spaces that is going to empower them to dive into that courage, to build that courage, to create the confidence that they have their own trust and self-belief that they can make the moves they need to make. And only by feeling supported, heard and seen do we as humans feel ready to do that. And they want honest spaces where they could be seen and supported. Find the space where you feel seen and heard. Find the space that you feel excited to log into and empowered when you leave. I want to leave any space that I'm in ready to take action. If I've got a 10 o'clock meeting in any of the communities that I am in, I want to leave it whenever that meeting finishes, ready to empower the rest of my day. Make sure that's the spaces that you are showing up with. But most importantly, all of these things don't come from more doing. It comes from getting clear on what really matters in your business and then stripping everything else away. You want simplicity, you want strategy, but you want to be able to make the moves. And you have to make sure that you have all those facilitations within your business. If you're nodding along to any of this, here's what I want you to know. That you are not broken, you're just saturated. That you don't need another guru, you need a guide. You need somebody to hold your hand. You don't need more information, you need insight. And you need to be able to talk about your business and get the tailored help that is specific to you and the answers to the questions that you have. And let me just add that there's no such thing as a stupid question, because we don't even know the things we don't know. Now, if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you will know that the Joy Work is in everything that I do. The Joy Work Show, the Joy Work Club, the Joy Work Members Club. But the Joy Work for me is it's not just about the strategy. Of course, strategy is important. You need to have a sales strategy, a marketing strategy. You need to have these plans within your business, structures, processes to get the things done. But if you don't have clarity, confidence, connection, accountability, and support, it doesn't matter how much more strategy you throw at it, you won't be able to move. I believe that by helping people put customer back at the heart of the business and really understand what that means will help you enjoy running your business again, will help you get that clarity and confidence that you need. And if you're listening to this and thinking, that's me, I totally get what Diane's talking about, and I think I need to move, then it's maybe time that we talk. There are lots of ways that you can work with me, from Empower Hours, the 21-day sprint, but the Joy Work Members Club doors are going to be opening very, very soon. So in the show notes, you will find ways that you can work with me, but you will also find a link to the wait list. And being on that wait list will give you first access when the doors opened, plus first access to any prices and bonus offers. There's also going to be a link to book a discovery call with me. My discovery calls are free. They're meant to be 15 minutes, but you'll probably get 30 minutes out of me. And it's a way for you to talk to me about what it is you need in your business and if there's any synergy and vibe with us. So if you do want any of these, then please go and have a look in the show notes. Now, before I go, let me leave you with this. You are not behind. You are not too late. And you are absolutely capable of building the business you dreamed of when you started. So let's take the noise out. Let's get to the heart and let's do the joy work. But most importantly, find the space that helps you thrive. If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, I would love if you could like, comment and subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it helps me grow the Joy Work. It helps me grow this podcast and I would love you forever for it. Thank you for listening and I'll see you later on this week with one of our wonderful guests. Take care.